guys, it's John here for another NHL game predictions video. And today it's January 26th, and we will preview each game, and I'll give you my predictions. So the first game is the 2-1-0 Colorado Avalanche head to San Jose to play the San Jose Sharks, who are 3-0, both off to very solid starts. We'll look at team leaders. For the Avalanche, Matt Duchene leads the team in points and goals with 4 points and 2 goals. And Milan Hajduk leads the team in assists with 3. Now we'll go over to the San Jose Sharks, who have exploded on offense so far this year. Joe Thornton leads the team in points with 9, including 1 goal and 8 assists. And Patrick Marleau leads the team in goals with 6 goals, and he has 2 goals in all 3 games. It's going to be an interesting game. The Avalanche, after losing their opening night game to the Minnesota Wild away, they went home for their last 2 games, and they won each of those. They beat the Kings, and then they beat the Blue Jackets in very convincing victories, 3-1 and 4-0. Well, the San Jose Sharks beat the Flames 4-1, then the Oilers 6-3, and then they had their home opener 2 nights ago against the Phoenix Coyotes and exploded in the third period for 4 goals and won 5-3. And they did this against the Coyotes. Antti Niemi let in some soft goals in the third period, and they didn't let that beat them as they just exploded on offense again, as I said. And I think it's going to be more of the same. I think both these teams are very solid. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Once again, I have Sharks 5, Avalanche 4. The next game is the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are 2-2, travel to New York to play the Rangers, who are 1-3. The Maple Leafs they've gone back and forth. They beat Montreal away, then lost to Buffalo home, then beat Pittsburgh away, and lost to New York at home. So they're 0-2 at home and 2-0 on the road, which is kind of strange. And the Rangers, they lost away to Boston, then they lost to Pittsburgh at home, and then they beat Boston in overtime at home, and then they lost to the Flyers away. And this game, I can't see. I still think the Rangers are going to be a real force this season, and I can't see the Rangers starting the season off 1-4. I think Tortorella started against Boston. Actually, he had the dream line, I guess you'd say, of Gaborik, Richards, and Nash, and Gaborik actually had a hat trick that game, and it seemed to work. They lost the next game to the Flyers, but I think this is gonna be their turnaround game where they start to get things going here. I have Rangers 5, Leafs 3. The next game is the Chicago Blackhawks travel to Columbus. The Blackhawks are off to the best start so far in the NHL. They're 4-0, and the Blue Jackets are 1-2-1. Point leaders: Patrick Kane leads the team in points with 7. Marian Hossa has 5 goals, and Kane has 5 assists. In Columbus, Fedor Tubin, a surprising point leader, off to a good start with 4 points. Goals: Nick Foligno is with 1, and Tubin has 3 assists. So something is going a little off. It shows that there's no superstar in Columbus this year, when after 4 games, nobody has 2 goals or more. And I just think the Blackhawks, they're such a good team right now. They're feeling it. Corey Crawford's playing solid in net. And the Blue Jackets, they're not off to a horrible start. They're not off to a great start, and they're just not a great team. So I have Blackhawks rolling over them 5-1. The next game is the Philadelphia Flyers travel to Florida to play the Panthers. And the thing is, everybody's criticizing Brizgalov, but I don't think he's playing that bad. A lot of the goals that the Flyers are giving in aren't really his fault. They're leaving him out to dry. I hope the Flyers fans realize that, because he's not a bad goalie. Their defense has been really suspect. But I have Brizgalov standing on his head against the Panthers, who are off to a struggle. Both teams are 1-3, but I have Brizgalov standing on his head in Florida, and I have the Flyers winning 3-0. But I have a feeling there's going to be an empty net goal. But yeah, 3-0 Flyers. That's what I have it at. The next game is an 8 o'clock game, as the St. Louis Blues and newly acquired Wade Redden travel to Dallas to play the Stars. The Blues are 3-1, and the Stars are 2-1-1. A lot of the Stars games have been low scoring. The last 3 games, they lost 1-0 to the Wild. Then they beat Detroit 2-1, and then they lost to Chicago 3-2 in a heartbreaker where Patrick Kane had a great behind-the-back pass to Marian Hossa for a one-timer. I believe the Stars were actually up 2-0 in that game too. I could be wrong, but I think they were. So that was kind of a killer for them. And the Blues, I don't know. I wasn't sure how they were going to do this season. I didn't think they were going to be able to have as great of a season as they did last year. But Tarasenko has really brought energy to the Blues this year, as he leads the team in points and goals. And I don't know. I mean, they have great goaltending and Yaroslav Halak and then Brian Elliott as a solid backup. And I think they're going to continue it as they go into Dallas. And I have it 3-2 Blues. The next game is the defending champions, the Los Angeles Kings, who have yet to get a win, travel, and it's a Western Conference Final rematch as they play the Phoenix Coyotes, who are off to another, also a bad start, who are 1-3. And actually, the Kings they lost opening night at home to the Blackhawks 5-2. Then they had a bad loss in Colorado 3-1. Then 2 nights ago, as you probably all heard with the whole Yakupov celebration thing, they lost 2-1 to the Oilers in overtime, giving up a goal with seconds left in the game. And that's just gotta kill. But for the Coyotes, Steve Sullivan's off to a hot start. 4 goals and 5 points, leads the team there. And it's going to be really interesting. And I'm going with the Coyotes here, just because, last season when the Bruins had to play the Canucks, when it was a Stanley Cup Final rematch, it was really it was a huge battle. It was really, it was more than a regular season game for both teams. And I think it's going to be similar here for the Kings and Coyotes, being good as how the series went last year when Dustin Penner won that overtime goal to send them to the finals. So and the Canucks ended up coming up on top in Boston. And I have the Coyotes beating the Kings 4-2. As the Kings do not look solid at all right now, and they lost Matt Green for the rest of the season as alternate captain. That's really going to hurt them. The next game is the Oilers as they travel to Calgary. In a Canadian matchup. Calgary has yet to get a win. They're 0-2-1, and the Oilers are off to a solid start at 2-1-0. Youngsters Nail Yakupov and Justin Schultz have really impressed so far this season. And Sam Gagner looks like he's got some chemistry with Nail Yakupov now. And the Flames are going to struggle this year. I liked how they acquired Dennis Weidman, but I mean, it's showing off the bat right now that they're just not a good team. I mean, they've their first 2 games of the season were at home, and they let up 4 goals to the Sharks and 5 to the Ducks. And then, I mean, 3 days ago, they lost in Vancouver in a shootout, but they're just not a good team. I think the Oilers are showing that they have heart. I mean, I'm not sure they'll make the playoffs. They might. I think if they play with heart like this, they're a young team. They are competitive. They really want to win. They have good players. But I have the Oilers winning 4-2 in Calgary. In the final game of the night, 10:30, the Nashville Predators travel to Anaheim to play the Ducks. The Predators are off to it's like a mediocre start, I guess you'd say. 1 win, 1 loss, and 2 overtime losses. And the Ducks are 2-1-0. But the Ducks, they played last night and got completely dominated in their home opener. They lost 5-0 to the Canucks. That was really disappointing coming into that game, they were off to a great start. They scored 7 goals in their opener against the Canucks and then 5 against Calgary. So they had 12 goals in their first 2 games, and then they were the last team to have a home opener. And I was expecting better of them, but I don't know. I mean, it was just disappointing. But and they play. So it's in Anaheim again. If this game was in Nashville, I would have gone with the Predators because the Ducks would have had to travel and no days rest. But since it's in Anaheim again, and the Ducks are a solid team, I think they will have a good year. I think they'll make the playoffs. I can't see the Ducks losing back-to-back games at home after such a good start to the season. So I have it Ducks 5, Predators 3. That's my picks for the day, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like it down below. Leave a comment on what you think is going to happen with today, because I think it's going to be a pretty fun day. I think there's going to be a lot of goals. And I will hopefully have a hut video out for you guys later today. And so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
We started from the bottom, but we racing to the top. And we never ever sleep, but got dreams of getting on. And times are looking hard, but you know we'll never stop. And we do it for the fans, cause these fans are all we got. But we ain't in this alone, we thankful for your help. I'm rapping heavyweight and reaching for that.